Garrett Wilson. Offensive Rookie of the Year favorite, the New York Jets, plus 175 at BetMGM, talking about his love for the great Mike White. We still haven't really settled on the nickname yet, but we're working on it around the clock.
We are.
Looks like Mike White is going to play through the ribs, though I wouldn't be surprised if we see Zach Wilson.
Like a nickname, a fun name. I mean, again, so we started the show. Like, is Lizzo if her name is like Mary White?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, like Lizzo's a fun name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
Right. She's
Mike
got the
White's,
whole persona going on.
Yeah.
Mike White is just snoozy.
Yeah. He needs something like Cobra or something.
Yeah.
He just is suddenly known as Cobra.
Yeah, exactly. Cobra White, like whatever. Just right, or even like just even an adjective, fighting Mike White. Like if Mike White just got into like just hauled off and punched some guy.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, he's fighting Mike White.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like he should go to a bar. He should go to a bar fight tonight. Like he should just go start something at some bar. And then he's fighting Mike White. He's like, we got his back.
Yeah. He's
and
a tough man.
He walks in. And he's got black and blue eyes, maybe like a little.
It's going to come to us.
Bandage.
It's going to come to us, the nickname, and it's going to be glorious. Garrett Wilson has been playing gloriously since Mike White came in as his quarterback. He's playing pretty well with Joe Flacco at the start of the year as well. Just so long as you don't give him Zach Wilson, he just continues to produce at a wide receiver 1 level.
In Mike White's 3 starts, he's averaging double-digit targets. He's averaging 21.5 points per game. That you see it there on your screen. It's a great matchup with the Lions. Since Week 10, they allow the second most yards per game to wide receivers. They've allowed multiple touchdowns to wide receivers in 2 of the past 3. It's Detroit. Garrett Wilson's getting double-digit targets and a great matchup. Top 12 play for me this week.
Yeah, a lot of chat about the Detroit Lions and their improving defense. It's fine. They're slightly better. They're still a bad defense, and I think Garrett Wilson should go off against that secondary. Mike Williams is also playing a weak secondary. He gets a very favorable matchup against the Tennessee Titans, who haven't been able to stop anyone the past couple weeks through the air. And he's got off a huge night.
And that's the point, right? They're really good against the run. They're bad in the secondary as well. So how does the Chargers move the ball in this game? They throw it, and they're going to throw it to Big Mike, right? So last week he played 66% of snaps, like only 66% of the snap, 2/3 of the snaps, and yet still 6 for 116 and a touchdown. To your point about Tennessee, they allow the most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. They can't stop anyone. Mike Williams, to me, is the top 15 play this week.
It would almost be better if Tennessee was slightly worse at containing the run. Might allow teams to run it a little bit more instead of just throwing for 10 yards per attempt through the air.
Titans have given up a touchdown to a wide receiver in 6 of the last 7 games, right?
Yep.
Sorry, 6 straight games. Titans have given up a touchdown in 6 straight games, and they've given up the second most touchdowns to opposing wide receivers this entire year. Who's most likely to get a touchdown, him or Keenan Allen? I think it's Mike Williams based on the size and the red zone usage.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm with you there. Let's go to Dalton Schultz, who's been resurgent since Dak Prescott. Never really kind of made music with Cooper Rush, but
no, he did not.
Is doing it with Dak.
Since Dak returned in Week 7, he's got a 20% target share. 20%.
Yeah.
For a tight end. In this economy, I'm all in. Especially when you think about the Jaguars, right? He's playing Jacksonville. They've given up over 100 yards to tight ends in 3 of the past 4. They've given up a touchdown to a tight end in 3 of the past 4, including 4 total touchdowns. I think Dalton Schultz in this game against Jacksonville, which has a sneaky high over-under. It's the 4th highest on the slate at the moment.
48.
Yeah, and so we're expecting a lot of points to be scored in this Jags-Cowboys game. Yeah, I have Dalton Schultz as a top 5 fantasy tight end.
Yeah. Who's definitively above him at this point, outside of Kelsey obviously is, but then
Andrews. I know Andrews has been bad recently, but I'd still start Andrews over him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have Hawkinson ranked ahead of Schultz, so probably still Hawkinson too. But he's right there. He's a top 5 guy.
Okay, let's go to some others receiving votes. Headlined by Brandon Ayuk, who despite having Brock Purdy as his quarterback, continues to produce.
Yeah, and they're playing tonight against Seattle, so we're gonna preview the game coming up a little bit later in the show. But just talk about Ayuk very quickly. Over the last 4 weeks, the Seahawks allow the 3rd highest catch rate to opposing wide receivers. Deebo Samuel injured now. That's a 24% target share that's up for grab. And in the 8 games this year in which Ayuk has gotten at least 6 targets, and you think he's got a good shot at getting there with Deebo Samuel on the shelf, he's averaging 15.2 fantasy points per game when he gets that kind of look. And now, again, does he have the connection with Brock Purdy that he had with Garoppolo? Not yet. But I think just by process of elimination and the matchup here, Purdy and Ayuk should be a thing moving forward.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because the Seahawks' pass defense, their whole defense is just terrible. On the other hand, Brock Purdy he's Brock Purdy. He's still the guy taken last in the draft. Now he's got this strained oblique, so he might not be able to throw the ball 30 yards, and it might not matter because the Seahawks' pass defense is that bad. Talking about Christian Watson, who has a matchup against the Rams. Look like Aaron Donald probably not going to play in that one, and Watson just keeps on scoring touchdowns for fun.
4 straight games with 6 or more targets. He's got a 24% target share since week 10. And about half of his passes on that and that stretch have come on deep passes, 15 or yards more downfield. The reason I mention that is because the Rams really struggle against deep passes. They're allowing the 3rd highest catch rate to opposing defenses. And I don't have a stat for this. But I'm just going to tell you, Aaron Rodgers, he listens to all the chatter. No one listens to the chatter the way Aaron Rodgers listens to chatter.
Yeah.
Like you chattered a little bit, and Aaron Rodgers right there.
Yeah.
Like
there's bugs in the wall.
Constantly. He is. Hi, Aaron. He's literally watching right now.
Good day, Aaron.
Like he uses all of it as motivation. So he's gonna be like, man, everyone's writing me off. Everyone thinks the Packers are done. We're still alive for the playoffs. We still got a shot here, and I'm at home on Lambeau in prime time. Aaron Rodgers in prime time at Lambeau Field. He's had 2 weeks to prepare for this matchup. He's had 2 weeks to study the Rams and their secondary. It's like now everyone's talking about Baker Mayfield. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm 12, damn it. I'm 12. Aaron Rodgers is going to ball out on Monday night, and one of the ways he's going to do it is Christian Watson. And you know how I know this? Not just the targets, not just the production. But you remember the Dynasty League that I'm in, that I played against the guy that has Stupid Ed, and he started Evan Ingram against me, and Zay Jones and Brock Purdy.
Bob Tunyon this week or something?
No. So he's got all those guys, right? And last week I had Kyler Murray, of course, and DeAndre Hopkins, and anyway, this guy Ed, stupid guy Ed, has Christian Watson on his team. Didn't play him last week because he was on a bye, but now he's back. He's going to play Christian Watson.
He's going to get 4 touchdowns.
He's going to, he will go off.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Guarantee.
Yeah. I went Foghorn Leghorn on it.
Yeah, with the O in the middle instead of the A.
I guarantee Christian Watson will have a big game. He's a very viable wide receiver 3 this week.
Okay, let's pivot to the hate list, headlined by Mike Evans, who, again, it's been a year of almost for Mike Evans. I just think about the plays that he has just.
You don't want to do the others receiving votes?
No, I
took too much long with Christian Watson.
Apparently, you went too long. Yeah.
All right, fine.
You want to race to a point on Chica Conquer?
Yeah, Zay Jones, Greg Dulcich at Arizona. I don't care if it's him, Wilson, or Brett Rippon. Start your tight ends against the Arizona Cardinals. And Chiggy, let's get Chiggy with it. Chiga Conquo now has 3 straight games with 5 or more targets. Chargers allow the most yards per reception to opposing tight ends. I think he's a viable streamer this week. But yes, let's talk hate.
Yes, let's not get Chiggy with Mike Evans, who has seen a steep decline. He has been a couple plays away from his stats looking a lot better, but just doesn't seem to be the same dynamic passing attack.
What week are we in right now?
15.
All right, so week 15.
Yeah.
If I said something since week 9 hadn't happened, that's a long time, right? Week 9 to week 15?
That's a reasonable amount of time. That's
6
weeks by my math.
Right. And so as the crow flies, it's 6 weeks. And so it just feels like that's a decent enough sample size given what we're dealing with here.
He's not done much in that time, Mike Evans?
He's wide receiver 59.
Wow. So
on a points per game basis.
So he's outside the top 58.
He's barely a top 60 wide receiver on a points per game basis since week 9. And then you think about this matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals. They've allowed the second fewest touchdowns to wide receivers this year. They allow the 3rd lowest catch rate to wide receivers. Tom Brady does not, again, the narrative of Mike Evans changes if that penalty doesn't get called back, but it calls the touchdown back, but it did. And so it hasn't. So yeah, unfortunately, Mike Evans, I'm lowering expectations for him. He's my wide receiver 25 this week, which isn't as low as some of the other people, but that's as low as I've ever had Mike Evans.
Yeah, I'm not giving up on Mike Evans.
No,
if he got that touchdown, if he had that catch against Carolina, which was a walk-in 60-yarder.
He's great.
The
ball has not bounced his way this year.
Yeah. Also hasn't bounced the way of Adam Thielen, kind of in that same cadre of receiver as Mike Evans. And the Colts have been sneakily good against wide receivers.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't say he's in the same category of wide receiver as Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans, especially at this stage of their
veteran
career,
touchdown-dependent guys who are not performing.
Which is fair. I think Mike Evans is a much better wide receiver.
He's a better receiver.
Sure. Thielen's good, but at this point of their careers. The fact of the matter is, though, is you mentioned the matchup with Indianapolis, and that's correct. They're really good against wide receivers. They haven't allowed more than 60 yards to an opposing wide receiver. They haven't allowed more than 60 receiving yards to multiple wide receivers in the same game all year. So if you figure, oh, well, Justin Jefferson's going to get his, he's probably going to get to over 60. Well, again, they haven't given up 60 yards to multiple receivers in the same game all year long. They actually allow the fewest fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Hard to really, get excited about Adam Thielen in this one. Again, he was on the love list last week, and he paid off. This week, he makes the hate list.
Yep, I like it. All right, before we go to break.
You like the hate?
Yeah, I do like the hate on this one. I think the Colts have a sneaky, competent defense, and they should be able to keep him in check.
Probably.
All right, before we go to break, a reminder to download the RotoWorld app to receive breaking player news all season long. Stay ahead of the competition by favoriting players on your roster and get the latest injury updates, player news, plus much more delivered right to your phone. It's available in the App Store today. When we come back,
for free.
Quarterback
It's free.
love hate.
The app is free.
It's free. It's very free.
Doesn't matter if you're cheap. It's free. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, okay? Respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.